When someone reaches out to me and is looking to buy a home here, especially if it's their first home purchase or if they're coming from out of the province or even out of the country, they often don't know where to start their home search. So much of the time spent when looking at homes for sale, especially if you're new to the area or new to the process, is just figuring out what's going to work for you and your family. Many of the homes you see and the hours you'll spend during the process are just to help you cross areas, home types, and features off of your list to help narrow your search down to the ideal home for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about the most common home types available across Durham Region, so if you're new to the area or new to the process and you're potentially going to be looking at homes for sale in Oshawa, Whitby, Clarington, Pickering, Ajax, or the surrounding communities, then this video should help you get a head start on your home search and hopefully help you save some time when you decide to make that move. If this is your first time here, my name is Jessie McLellan and I'm a lifelong resident and realtor here in Oshawa, Ontario with the Lisa Abbott team. And I make videos about the real estate market trends, tips for people buying or selling homes here, and just general information to keep you up to date on what's going on in the local real estate market. If that's something you're interested in, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also use the link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you to get your questions answered about buying or selling a home here. The first type of home we'll start with is the 1.5 story homes. These homes are found throughout the older areas of Oshawa and Durham Region, and the vast majority of them are going to be detached, but there are some semi-detached examples as well. Most were built somewhere between the 1920s up until about 1960-ish. Given that these are some of the oldest properties in the area, they tend to come with older home problems. Things like knob and tube wiring, as well as plaster, insulation, and ceiling and floor tiles that may contain asbestos are all possibilities in a home that age. They all pose different health and safety risks, and they can affect your ability to get home insurance. 1.5 story homes also tend to have smaller bathrooms and usually very small bedrooms that tend to be on the upper floor. The stairs to the top floor tend to be very steep, which can be an issue for elderly people or those who have a tougher time with stairs. And the upstairs ceilings in these homes are very sloped, so it can limit how you use those rooms, and it can be an issue for taller people. With all of that being said, there are definitely pros to these homes. They can have a lot of charm and character that you just don't find in newer homes. They can have very beautiful woodwork. They tend to be on larger lots because they're usually in older, more mature areas, and some of them have detached garages as well. You can also find examples of ones where the previous owner has addressed most of the old home problems and they're beautifully updated but still manage to have that vintage classic old home feel. Next, I'll move on to the 2.5 story homes. These homes are going to possess very similar pros and cons as the 1.5 story homes, as they're built around the same time from the 1920s to the 1960s. There's a possibility of outdated plumbing and electrical, asbestos products, small bathrooms and bedrooms, and the paint jobs in these homes can be rough because they've likely been painted so many times over the years. The half story in these homes can get very hot in the summertime as the air conditioner has to work really hard to get the cold air all the way up there. And with the steep stairs and low clearance, it can be difficult bringing any furniture to the upper half story level. The basements in these older homes are also very different from modern basements. They can have very low ceiling height and not be super usable for anything other than laundry. And with the age of the home, the possibility of water issues is much higher. Homes that are this old can also have slanted floors, which can affect how furniture sits and how different parts of the home function. But similar to the 1.5 story, these homes do have their own benefits. They have that similar character and charm that's missing from most modern homes, and you can find some properties that have been renovated with many of the wiring and plumbing issues already addressed. And these homes with that half story can offer a more affordable entry point into the detached market than most other detached homes. Plus, the 2.5 story in particular has a very unique third level that can be used in so many different ways. It can function as an office, an additional living space, a games room loft, another bedroom, or you could simply use it for storage. These homes are also often converted into 2 or even 3 unit properties, which gives you the opportunity to convert it if that's what you are interested in doing, or at the very least, it allows your home to appeal to more buyers and investors if and when you do decide to resell it. The next home type we're going to focus on is the two-story home. A two-story home is going to be one of, if not the most common home type in Durham Region. It's going to come in all shapes and sizes. There are two-story townhomes, semi-detached homes, and of course detached properties as well. There's so much variance to all of these properties that lumping them all together isn't really fair. I'll focus mainly on the detached examples. For the most part, your traditional townhomes and semi-detached homes are going to share similar pros and cons across the board. They can be more affordable options, but they also have shared walls, which means you might hear your neighbors from time to time. And townhomes can lack backyard access, meaning lawnmowers, patio furniture, and anything you purchase for the backyard may have to go through your home to get in there. But as for the detached two-story properties, this is going to be the most common home type you'll find for sale. They can vary greatly in size and layout. Typically, your kitchen, dining, and living space are all on the main floor. Your bedrooms are upstairs, and then you have the basement for additional living space or storage, or in some cases, it can be a separate unit that can be rented out or used as an in-law suite. These homes have a classic layout and are loved because of the levels of separation, and they often work well for families with children because it allows that separation from where you sleep and where you cook, entertain, and spend most of your time. There's not a lot of downsides to a two-story home. For some, the stairs may be an issue, and the basement windows in a two-story tend to be very small. So if you spend a lot of your time or have an additional unit there, the natural light can be very limited. Other drawbacks are going to generally be more layout oriented and can be applicable to other home types as well, like whether the kitchen is located at the front or back of the home, or if the garage is out in front of the home versus being set back into the home, taking away from the living space, or if there's garage access from inside the home or not, things like that, which are not exclusive to two-story homes. Next on the list is the three-story townhouse. These have become increasingly popular over the last 10 or 15 years because it allows for denser housing. Developers can fit more homes on the same lot size while maintaining a higher above-grade square footage. They can be found all over Durham Region, from Pickering all the way to Clarington. Every city has them. With the three-story townhomes, the benefits are that most of them have garages and have garage access from inside the home. They really only picked up popularity in the last 10 or 15 years, so they're going to be newer homes. They tend to have open concept main floors. Your heating is generally less expensive compared to many other homes, and the maintenance of these homes, especially the exterior, is also usually a lot lower than other types because you don't have much of a yard, if any, and the driveways are small and easier to take care of. I find that many of these areas with three-story townhomes tend to have a nice park located nearby, but many of these homes will lack a private yard space. And if you're someone who tracks your steps in a day and you have a goal you're trying to hit, you probably won't have to worry about that because these homes have a lot of stairs. Which brings us to the downsides of these homes. Did I mention that they have a lot of stairs? Because they have a lot of stairs, and usually steeper stairs as well. And many of these townhomes, when you walk in the front door, there may be a foyer area for you to take your shoes off and hang a coat. There might be a closet, and some even have a first-level bathroom. But then it's stairs straight up to the main floor that usually has your kitchen and living area, and then it's more stairs up to the third level where the bedrooms are located. And the bedrooms in most of these homes are definitely on the smaller side. Also, these homes usually have no basement or very, very small basement areas that have enough room for your washer and dryer and HVAC equipment. There are some examples of these homes that have a very small backyard, but some of them back right onto one another, so there are no rear windows and no backyard space at all. If you're having guests over, it can be difficult to find street parking with the way many of these areas are laid out, and some of them actually have a monthly fee called a pottle fee, which stands for a parcel of tied land. Basically, it's similar but often quite a bit cheaper than a condo maintenance fee. These fees tend to be around $100 and usually no more than $200 each month, and they can cover things like garbage and snow removal. Not all three-story townhomes will have this additional cost, but in recent years, it's become more common for developers to build a small complex of these townhomes where the roads aren't maintained by the city, so each unit owner pays a small monthly fee to contribute to things like snow removal and garbage removal, which is done by a third party. This can be a great thing or a not so great thing because sometimes in the winter, having a third party doing your snow clearing rather than the city can mean that your complex gets cleared really quickly, but it could also go the other way and you're the last on their list that gets cleared. It really varies from area to area and who's responsible for maintaining the property. Some of these 3-story townhomes, especially in North Oshawa near Durham College, are laid out with students in mind. So there isn't a primary bedroom. They're all laid out to give each student their own space and might not necessarily be the best layout for a family. So if you're looking at something online and you're not sure, please feel free to reach out to me or the agent that you're working with and ask. Similar to the 3-story townhome is the stacked townhome. From the outside, these can look similar to a 3-story townhome, but it's actually multiple units stacked on top of one another. Here's an example of a recently built stacked townhouse in Clarington, and in this example, there are 4 units. The main floor unit has the bedrooms, kitchen, and living spaces all on one floor. There's the basement unit, which is smaller and located partially or mostly below grade, and then the top 2 floors, which both have a kitchen and living rooms on their first floor with bedrooms on the upper level. Each unit has a designated parking space in the garage as well, except I believe the basement unit, I think they have a designated surface space in this particular example. There are different variations of these stacked townhomes throughout Durham Region, and they tend to have something for everyone. Your main floor unit is going to appeal to an older couple or someone who doesn't want stairs and likes having everything on a single level. The upper floor units can work for smaller families. The smaller basement units can provide a young couple or a single person with a relatively affordable entry point into the market. These homes can offer a great mix of the benefits of a condo apartment with the benefits of a townhome. Many of them will have their own balcony, and parking is usually near your unit with visitor parking spaces available as well. But unlike a condo apartment, you have direct access to your unit rather than going through a lobby. But there are downsides that are similar to the 3-story townhomes and condo apartments. Like condos, you're going to have a maintenance fee, although they tend to be on the more affordable side and can be commonly found in the $200 to $400 per month range. It's still an additional cost, and these units lack any sort of private yard space. You may also run into general noise that you find in any housing that shares walls, and the top floor units tend to have stairs required to get to your unit and then stairs inside the unit as well. With all that being said, they can be a great affordable option for people to enter the real estate market and have a home that doesn't break the bank. It doesn't require much maintenance or upkeep like a freehold detached property and allows you to live in a newer, more modern space. The ones I mentioned in Clarington are also located right on the water and right near walking trails, so it can help make up for the lack of yard space too. Since I've mentioned stacked condo townhomes, it's only fair I mention traditional condo apartments as well. There are numerous condo apartments available across Durham Region that vary in size, price, amenities offered, and age. In Oshawa, many of the condo apartment options are older buildings that date back to the 60s or 70s, besides a few newer buildings located near Durham College. Whitby also has a few older condo buildings as well, but Pickering, Ajax, and Clarington have some condo options that were built in the last 10 to 15 years, as well as some newer buildings which haven't been completed as of yet. Condo apartments typically offer a more affordable option and can be great for first-time homebuyers or even older couples that are looking to downsize and have everything on one level. And if you find the right building, they can have some great amenities like gyms, pools, saunas, and more. The downside to condos, especially the condo apartment options available in Durham Region, is that there are a lot of older buildings, and old buildings are going to be dated inside and more likely to run into issues, and the maintenance fees for a lot of condo buildings in Durham Region tend to be quite high. Some can be in the high $500s to well over $800 a month without offering many amenities to the residents, and some will include heat, hydro, and/or water, but a lot of them won't. You can also run into issues with the condo's finances and how they're handled. If issues arise and there aren't sufficient funds to cover any repairs and renovations that are needed, the condo can pass the cost on to residents in the form of special assessments or increased maintenance fees. I know of buildings in the area that have run into issues and asked residents to pay either thousands and thousands of dollars up front or have their fees raised by a couple $100s per month for a number of years to help cover the costs. So it's very important that you have a lawyer review the condo's status certificate to verify their financial situation. Now we're going to move on to what is definitely one of the most common home types in Oshawa, and that is bungalows. Bungalows have been built for many decades, so the ages can range from the 30s or 40s up until today, although in Durham Region there aren't many new ones being built currently. These homes are very popular though for a few reasons. They don't have many stairs besides the ones to access the basement, which makes them popular for older generations as everything is on one level, but they can still work well for families with children, and they're very popular with investors because many of them have a side or back entrance that leads to the basement, allowing for a secondary unit to be created and rented out. However, there are some much older bungalows, especially in Ajax, without basements that have crawl spaces instead. They can range in size as well. Some of them are tiny and some of them are known as ranch-style bungalows, and they are wider homes, so they generally sit on much wider lots. The ranch style, especially in Oshawa, tend to be all brick homes and often have a detached garage, a carport, or no garage. Very rarely, though, will they have an attached garage. The list of cons for bungalows is short, but because they're older homes, it includes things like smaller closets and small bedrooms. In modern homes, with the exception of some very recent builds, we tend to have a larger primary bedroom with walk-in closets and an ensuite bathroom, and larger bedrooms in general. But many of these older bungalows tend to only have one bathroom on the main floor. The basement in bungalows can also be more expensive to finish because they tend to be a higher square footage than their two-story counterparts. And the backyard access from the house can be limited because many of them have a side entrance from the driveway rather than a door to the backyard. And of course, the really small bungalows with a crawl space basement sacrifice the additional space, but generally sell for so much lower than those with a full basement. Besides that, there aren't many downsides to a bungalow. Of course, if it's an older home, it can have older home issues like I've mentioned before, but these homes are usually very sought after and in demand because they work for so many people. Young families, seniors that are downsizing, and investors are all frequent buyers of bungalow homes. Another common home type that's similar is a raised bungalow. A raised bungalow is exactly what it sounds like. Everything is all on one floor like a bungalow, but it's raised, so when you walk in the home, there are stairs up to the main floor. It can possess similar benefits to a bungalow, but the main differences are that they don't work as well for seniors or those that prefer little to no stairs because of the stairs from the foyer area up to the main floor. You can find them with walkouts to the backyard from the basement, and the basements are great because they have large windows that bring in a lot more natural light, which helps it feel less like a basement, and they can be easier to turn into basement apartments, which again creates an opportunity for that basement apartment or in-law suite, which appeals to investors. The downsides to this type of home is that there's often a very small foyer, so your coat closet is usually upstairs or downstairs, and as I mentioned, there are more stairs involved, so it doesn't work for people looking specifically for a bungalow, even though it can share similar features and characteristics. And if there is a sliding door to the backyard from the main level, it will often be through one of the bedrooms. If you like a level of separation between where you sleep and your living spaces, raised bungalows might not work for you, and they can have a larger footprint, so if they do have that larger footprint and are built on the same size lot as a regular two-story home, you'll have less yard space than the two-story counterpart. Now we're almost done, but there are 3 home types left, and in my opinion, these are probably the most unique and the most interesting homes we have in Durham Region. One is the Bungaloft. The Bungaloft is, you guessed it, a bungalow with a loft. They have a main floor primary bedroom and bathroom, and the main floor can usually be self-sufficient like the main floor of a bungalow, but the addition of the loft allows for separation and works great for when you have guests or extended family visiting. They can also work really well for a family member who has mobility issues and would really benefit from having everything on one floor. These homes honestly just also feel a little bit more grand and special than a traditional bungalow or other homes, as part of the house will have really tall ceilings that make for a more unique living experience. These homes are definitely more rare, but if you look carefully, you can absolutely find some really beautiful examples in Durham Region. The downsides to a bungaloft are that all of the bedrooms are not on the same floor, so the person with the bedroom on the main floor does have a little bit less privacy, and because of the loft, there will be some stairs in the home as well. Your windows and ceilings can also be extra difficult to clean because the ceilings are so tall. The last 2 homes are very similar but look very different from the outside, and that is your backsplit and your side split homes. Backsplit homes tend to look a bit more like a bungalow from the outside, while side split homes tend to look more similar to a 2-story home. Both of these homes can typically range from 3 to 5 different levels, so if levels of separation are a big plus for you, one of these homes might be your match. These homes are much larger than they appear from the outside and can range from 3 to 5 levels, with the possibility of 3 levels above grade, which means 3 floors that are bright and have tons of natural light. The layouts of split-level homes can vary, but typically you have a main floor with kitchen and living spaces, with the bedrooms on the upper level of the home. The rest of the levels can be used for extra living space, additional bedrooms, an entertainment or games room, an office space, or extra storage. And backsplit homes can also have a crawl space on the lowest level that's best suited for storage as well. Split-level homes were built from the 1950s or 1960s up until around the 1990s, but are not a type of home that builders often make anymore. Though the older detached homes were built on more generous lots, backsplits will generally have a larger footprint, and in Durham Region, it's not uncommon to see backsplit homes on a regular sized lot from that time. But side split homes were and are generally built on larger lots, so they can command a premium in some neighborhoods. Split-level homes can often have more unique layouts, and side splits often have a level that overlooks a family room. The homes can feel a lot larger than it seems, and they offer a lot of separation, perfect for teenagers to have their own space or easier multi-generational living. The drawbacks to a split-level home are going to be the number of stairs, and if the laundry is located on the lowest level, it can feel like a lot of stairs to get down there. And because they aren't commonly built anymore, it's unlikely you'll find a new home that is a split level unless it's a custom build. But if you don't mind all the stairs, these are honestly one of my favorite styles. If you're on the fence about checking one out, I would definitely recommend it. In my experience, sometimes even a semi-backsplit can provide more usable space than a detached 2-story. I hope you found this video helpful. These have been the most popular homes you'll find in Durham Region when you're looking to purchase a home. If you'd like to speak with me about buying a home or what home type might work best for you, click the link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you. Thanks so much for watching until the end. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one next week. Bye!